Hello, this is Bryson Myers, and this is my submission for the maintenance firm design for my final project. And so, starting off with the goals of the design, I wanted the firm to have an intuitive workflow. So I wanted everything to make sense of how parts are going to flow and how workers are going to move within the space. I wanted technicians to have easy access to their high-use items, so they weren't having to constantly stop work and go searching around the building for something they need. I wanted there to be safe storage for materials, so that to cut down on accidents within the workspace. And I also wanted there to be a large workspace, so the technicians had plenty of space to move around in, and that there was plenty of space for any large machinery that's needed, and that can just help to cut down on accidents as well. So, starting with the workshop. Like I said before, this is the main space that I wanted there to be a lot of space to work in, because this is where all the heavy machinery and most of the work is going to be done. So I wanted to ensure that technicians had plenty of space to work around. I also wanted to make sure that there was workflow between each station, so that there was a nice flow of movement for parts as they went through each stage of the repair process, and so that one station led into another rather than having to jump spaces. And the main thing also was that I wanted there to be easy access to storage from the workshop, because this is where the most work is happening. That means that they're going to have to be constantly going back and forth to get parts, and so I wanted that travel to be as short as possible. And so the first kind of storage is going to be general storage. And so this is where the tools and everyday use items are going to be stored, and stuff like that'll include PPE, the technician's toolkits, and just some general components that'll be used in the repair process. And so in this storage room, things are going to be organized in terms of usage. So stuff that's getting used more is going to be front and center, so it's easy to see, easy to reach, and stuff that's used not so much is going to be towards the back, so it's not taking up as much space. Next up, we have chemical storage, and so this is going to be more protective storage for any chemicals that are kept on hand and any other potentially hazardous materials. And so this room is going to be very closely temperature controlled to prevent any chemical deterioration, and that's going to be subject to whatever chemicals are present on the site, and will be set to those standards. And this room is going to be equipped with a chemical cleanup station that'll have everything necessary to deal with a chemical accident involving the material is kept on site. And it will be also be equipped with a safety data sheet for the materials on site that technicians and other workers will be able to reference, that has information on everything stored in that room, that tells how it should be handled, any potential hazards, and how it should be used. And this will also be where the PPE is kept for those chemicals, such as if something was corrosive and needed rubber gloves, that's where those gloves would be kept. Next up, we have part storage, and so this is just the room where components and parts will be kept. And so this will be split into 3 sections. So first up would be your spare parts, and so these would be your more smaller items that are used in the repair process, more like nuts and bolts. And then you have your parts to be worked on. So these are the things that have been sent to the firm so that they can be repaired, and anything that's in the process of being repaired or hasn't been repaired yet will be stored here. And then the last section would be completed projects. And so that would be just where anything that's been finished but hasn't been sent out yet, that's where it would be kept. And then storage systems within these rooms. The main thing that you're going to see are storage shelves because they make items easy to see and reach. But you're also going to see storage lockers for more fragile items that you don't want accidentally falling, or valuable items so that they can be locked up and harder to reach. And within these systems, each item is going to have its own area with a corresponding label that is easy to see so that workers are able to reference and know what they're looking at. And then there also will have a corresponding tag that's scannable for inventory management, which we will get to later. Next up will be the janitorial room. And so this is just going to contain all the cleaning supplies for the entire building. And this would also have secondary backups for the chemical spills in case an accident happens in the chemical storage room and you're unable to get to the chemical cleanup supplies there. You're going to have more in this janitorial room. And so this is just in case any accident happens, this is where you'll go to have the items to deal with it. And next up is the main office. And so all systems in the farm are going to run through this room. And so that's going to include inventory tracking of incoming and outgoing shipments, short-term and long-term tasks, so your daily task and your more bigger projects, monthly projects. And then that's also where technicians working in-house on location will be tracked. So everyone that's working in the building, or in case technicians need to go to a warehouse and work there on site, their work will be tracked here in this office as well. And next up we have the technicians' offices. And so this is going to be their main workstation outside the workshop. And so each technician will check in and out for the day here in this spot. And so this will be where they clock in and clock out, where they check their daily tasks, check their monthly tasks, see how they're doing on that, and where they gain access to their work info. And also where they have access to any design software that they need to use. So incoming and outgoing, this is going to be where shipments and parts. Shipments of parts come in, and completed parts go out. And this is just going to be where trucks come in of stuff that needs worked on, and where once they've been worked on and once they're done, where the farm will ship them out. Safety. So each room is going to be equipped with corresponding safety equipment. For example, the workspace will have a fire extinguisher and carbon monoxide and smoke detectors because of the heavy machinery and the potential for fire. Storage rooms are going to have the corresponding PPE and cleanup supplies based on what's in there, and workers will be routinely trained with quick response times and the appropriate methods to respond to any situation that arises. So like I said before, the workflow will be that parts come in through incoming, move to storage, completed in the workshop, and sent out through outgoing. And so the management system, like I said before, everything is going to be tracked in the main office, and that's from parts to components to tools to tasks, and that's all going to run through the main office. So overall, I wanted the firm to have plenty of space for workers to work in to cut down the travel time, and I wanted there to be a nice flow from everything, and I think I achieved that.